Everyone we see is a reflection of us. Do you ever wonder if there's another layer to spiritual living? I mean, does the universe challenge you in many ways? Something hit home where I think it was a Dolores Cannon YouTube video, and it mentioned about past life karma, and that if you play the victim mentality or the victim role where you always think that the universe is out to get you, then you are consistently challenged with tasks. Well, that is true. And it's also true that we pay some type of karmic debt or family trauma that stops with you. There's a lot of that, and that can be quite damning, if you will, for a better word, but there's a lot to it. I mean, it can be overwhelming for people, or difficult for some, to come to the conclusion that it's not all on them, but there's a lot to factor into it. And I think if you go deeper than that, and you start to not really question your sense of direction or the way that you see the world, you start to question sort of, is it worth it? You're putting in so much effort, and there is that overwhelming feeling, but you're not specifically challenging the universe for difficulty because you believe so much in it. So it has to fall back on potential past life sort of karmic debt that you're paying off, or lessons learning that we're not quite understanding, so that we can heal it and better it, move on from it. And it could have been a lot of that, and there's a lot to it, because the higher your vibration, of course, and the higher quality thoughts you have and all of this, it makes a key difference. But a lot of the spiritual gurus forget to coach you how to do that along the way. And that's not any fault, that's just how they do their stuff. But what's difficult are for the people that don't reach out to these crew. It's important to understand how to deal with it when you're going through it. When you're living in the moment, how do you deal with the present day? Let's say all that karmic debt has been repaid and you've healed all your traumas and passed all your universal tests. So you're able to move on. Do we still have negative thoughts, or not bad thoughts, but thoughts that may give us a lower vibration? Of course. Like, I don't think you should, and anyone shouldn't expect oneself to just automatically flick a switch and become a Super Saiyan God or a superpower God, if you know what I'm talking about. You can't. You go through it at your own pace. And a lot of people have said it's not like a magical reset or a magical click of the fingers and you're enlightened. No, it's a slow journey. It's a spiritual growth. It's the opposite of the indoctrination. Whereas slowly mass confirmation is happening, it's the same, but on the opposite side, the yin to the yang. It's the healing. And when you grow, you go through it, you heal it, you understand it. This is the critical element that you place upon it. This information you don't find from others, not through lack of empathy or consideration. They do a lot, but they are not true coaches or teachers. not one to facilitate the move in progress. They are information givers, and we love them for that. We use those skills, but we teach people how to move in current times and current situations, to identify what you're going through, but to ever be present that there is no time. There's no time limit. There's no rush. Your growth is how you grow. You will not forever be seen to be late or hurtful or abused or any of that for being your own person. They will welcome us with open arms. And your journey is timed to perfection. It always will be. So when you can understand that in itself is where the power lies, then you have no fear. You have nothing to worry about. And if you can place all your decision making around the idea on that, there's nothing to worry about. Then your progress in your journey will become ever more easier. And then you can focus on the things that you love to do. Will we have fallbacks? Sure. But what I get is, let's say there's this tier level spirituality. You forget the levels of 5D consciousness or 6D consciousness for a second and just think that, let's say there's this tier 1 level of spirituality. Sort of where we're currently at now. Let's say in tier 2, you have the higher level spiritual beings, but we're still able to witness and communicate. It's the information, it's the current moment, it's the high level gurus and healers coming out now to help us guide. Now think of another tier above that, of vast space, of universe, of whatever it is that you like, that when you think about that, it gives you goosebumps, or it makes you feel whole, as if you arrived. What would you put above that? It can be a vast galaxy, it can be electricity, energy, it can be the openness to knowing all. And view that as if you were above it, in your imagination, in your mind's eye. And how does that make you feel to witness something like that? Do you feel like you're stepping out of that tier 2 spirituality and becoming more of a growth, becoming more uplifted? Can you feel the connection to something more? That's leaving the matrix. What if, as much as it pains me to even consider the fact, but when you think about the current world that we live in, even spirituality on some levels, or this sort of intuition, the psychic side, can also be a fabrication of the matrix. For you see, everyone for so long has given the darker side the matrix. But we know within that there is pure love and pure light. So it is a part of the matrix in a whole. Now this isn't factual, this is a hypothesis. It's about you creating the mind to remove yourself from the everyday living and the daily struggles, to become more of an observer, a witness to what is going on. Rather than being connected to the 3D reality, the matrix, you are observing it from a perspective outside of its control. Just as like you were in a space comet looking down upon the Earth where you can see all the different levels. And imagine it can be an energy, it can be people, it can be whatever it is, but it is like that. And then when you move into that higher level, for some reason it's free, it's clear, there's no control, it's all open. And that is what I want you to feel. And when your mind and your imagination is connected into that field, you can remove yourself from all of that hysteria, from all of the commotion. That is what's moving up. You can't ignore the reality that you live in. You still have to see and witness certain things. That is what evolution is. That is what growth, spiritual growth is. But we help people along the way who are also willing to grow with us. We do not take greed and keep this information for ourselves. We bring it with us. And along with them, we bring as many people that want to come. But do we shun people that are not ready? No, we do not. For everyone's journey is different. And some people are here to help us get into the next phase. Whatever it may be. But these are the things. Your imagination is so connected to what you feel and what energy you bring in from the outside. And these are the techniques that we use to dissociate ourselves from the daily grind, from all of that contrasting and controlling energies that either we put upon ourselves, we do it sometimes, nature of habit. Some of us are just caught in that we find it difficult because we don't have a partner, we don't have someone next to us who we can talk to, or who we can help us go through this together. It's the same like going on a roller coaster by yourself. It's great memories, but you don't really have anyone to share it with. The experience, the emotions, how to go through it, how to go through it if something goes wrong. But when you're there with a partner or a team member or a friend and you're doing this collectively, it has so much more power because you have twice as much going with you. But this is a kudos and a congratulations to all the people who are doing it by themselves, learning. No one might know your struggles, but I do. Not personally, but I know exactly what is happening when you go through this singularly. How difficult it is, how to place emphasis on what is right, what is real, what is not. It's hard, but it's that finding what it is, that excavation, that search and thirst for knowledge, for understanding. That is true value, that is important. I think a long time ago we all had that until greed came in because someone saw an opportunity. We all know roughly how the world came to be and what they're hiding, so I'm not going to go into that. But it's crucial that we can remove ourselves from the situation at hand, the common problems. So how can we imagine ourselves into a higher state of living while still remaining in the 3D world? By being you. It's cliche to say, but by being you is the biggest strength. What drives your understanding for knowledge, or your thirst for knowledge, or just your faith and your belief or your knowledge in your path is right? Belief in synchronicities and their meaning, and just researching things. You're like, I wonder what that means. Being proven wrong, accepting that you're wrong, and then knowing what the answer is, or what the correct term is, or what a different way is. And that is spiritual growth. It's owning your presence in what you say and what you do, but being humble when proven wrong. That's critical. So it's interesting to note that whatever you do, everything can be a part. We don't know what is actually the next step, the next level, what is a part of the code. And how high do we go to help others? what challenges are in our way that we still must overcome. Whatever it is, whatever step, and whatever place you are, please remember, you are not alone. There are people out there exactly like you, like me, and like others. So even if it's hard and it's difficult, remember that one step. Try it. Prove it to yourself. Maybe you do and maybe it's correct. Imagine a tier 1 level. And everything's in that. And tier 2 is the spiritual level that you know everything about, or you're learning about. It's this exciting area. But tier 3, in top of all of that, is your layer. And that's where I want you to put all of your hopes, wishes, desires, creativity, your love. How does it make you feel? Does it give you goosebumps? Try it. Picture it. If you connect yourself to an emotion, to a feeling on that level, that will lead you into a way of understanding and allowing yourself to be free from control. It's not everything, but it's a start. Because if you can feel comfortable in the moment of the present day, that's the first step to a new tomorrow. So with that, I leave you with love and light. Take care.